Good morning. God bless. It's me, Dick Jr. again. I come today to read Jeremiah chapter 52. This is the last chapter of Jeremiah. It's a little lengthy, but not as lengthy as 51 or 50 was. I'm just going to get to it. I don't make a lot of references. This is, for the most part now, what we would call history, and it's actually an account of history. It's not so much prophecy at this point as just an account of things that happened, or one person's view, or yes, a nation's view, actually, or Jerusalem's view of what happened. There's other views of it, but this is chapter 52, Jeremiah. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He did evil in the sight of the Lord, like all that Jehoiakim had done. For through the anger of the Lord this came about in Jerusalem and Judah, until he cast them out from his presence. And Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. Now it came about in the 9th year of his reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came, he and all his army, against Jerusalem, camped against it, and built a siege wall all around it. So the city was under siege until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. On the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then the city was broken into, and all the men of war fled and went forth from the city at night by the gate between the two walls, which was by the king's garden, though the Chaldeans were all around the city. And they went out by way of the Arabah. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued the king and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho, and all his army was scattered from him. Then they captured the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath, and he passed sentence on him. The king of Babylon slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes. He also slaughtered all the princes of Judah in Riblah. Then he blinded the eyes of Zedekiah, and the king of Babylon bound him in bronze fetters and brought him to Babylon and put him in prison until the day of his death. Now on the 10th day of the 5th month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the bodyguard, who was in the service of the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He burned the house of the Lord, the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, even every large house he burned with fire. So all the army of the Chaldeans who were with the captain of the guard broke down all the walls around Jerusalem. Then Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried away into exile some of the poorest of the people. The rest of the people who were left in the city, the deserters who had deserted to the king of Babylon, and the rest of the artisans. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, left some of the poorest of the land to be vine dressers and plowmen. Now the bronze pillars which belonged to the house of the Lord, and the stands and the bronze sea which were in the house of the Lord, the Chaldeans broke into pieces and carried all their bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, the shovels, the snuffers, the basins, the pans, and all the bronze vessels which were used in temple service. The captain of the guard also took away the bowls, the fire pans, the basins, the pots, and the drink offering bowls, what was fine gold and what was fine silver, the 2 pillars, the 1 sea, and the 12 bronze bulls that were under the sea, and the stands which King Solomon had made for the house of the Lord. The bronze of all these vessels was beyond weight. As for the pillars, the height of each pillar was 18 cubits, and it was 12 cubits in circumference and 4 fingers in thickness, and hollow. Now a capital of bronze was on it, and the height of each capital was 5 cubits, with a network of pomegranates upon the capital all around, all of bronze, and the second pillar was like these, including pomegranates. There were 96 exposed pomegranates. All the pomegranates numbered 100 on the network all around. Then the captain of the guard took Seraiah the chief priest and Zephaniah the second priest with the 3 officers of the temple He also took from the city one of the officials who was overseer of the men of war, and 7 of the king's advisers, who he found in the city, and the scribe of the commander of the army, who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land who were found in the midst of the city. Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, took them and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. Then the king of Babylon struck them down and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah was led away into exile from its land. These are the people whom Nebuchadnezzar carried away into exile in the 7th year, 2,023 Jews. In the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar, 832 persons from Jerusalem. In the 23rd year of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried into exile 745 Jewish people. There were 4,600 persons in all. Now it came about in the 37th year of exile of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 25th of the month, that evil Marduk, king of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, showed favor on Jehoiachin, king of Judah, and brought him out of prison. Then he spoke kindly to him and set his throne above the thrones of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiachin changed his prison clothes and had his meals in the king's presence regularly all the days of his life. For his allowance, a regular allowance was given him by the king of Babylon, a daily portion all the days of his life until the day of his death. And that is the last chapter in Jeremiah. And I'm not going to circle back around to chapter 1 here at this time. I'm going to continue on in the direction that we're going on in Sunday school. I will circle back around to Jeremiah and finish the first chapters of that, of course. But we're going to, I think, go to Amos. Well, we wrote it down. There was a consensus. But anyways, I'm just going to tell you thank you and God bless for now. And I think I'll be back with either Daniel, Amos, or Ezekiel is where I'm going to head. Plus, I'm still in the book of Mark. So just thanks for listening and God bless.